Today we're working on Math MIU 1 Investigations in Unit 1, Lessons 3 and 4. We are learning how can we represent a multiplication problem in a real-world situation. We're really focused on learning multiplication and making sense of problems. We warmed up in class by doing an activity called counting around the class. If you're at home and you're watching this video, you can practice skip counting by twos on your own. We also looked at our review of our last lesson, solving picture problems. Last time we learned if there are 3 cars in the parking lot, how many wheels are there? And we drew some pictures last time of some different things that come in groups. I remind you that when we're counting the wheels in a car, we could use repeated addition. We could say there are 4 wheels on this car, 4 wheels on this car, and 4 wheels on this car. And then we'd add these together. We'd say 4 plus 4 equals 8. And 8 plus 4 more equals 12. And we would complete our sentences over at the side about our picture to help us make sense of it. We would say, here are 3 cars. Each car has 4 wheels or tires, whatever you want to call them. And there are 12 wheels in all. In this lesson, we're introducing a new tool, and it's called a get chart. The reason why it's called a get chart is because of each column. In the first column, we have number of groups. So we see that word groups starts with a G. So that's where the G in get comes from. In the second column, it says number in each group. So I'm going to circle that word each. And that's where the E comes from, the number in each group. And in the third column, we have the number in all of the groups. We would call this the total. And that's where the T comes from in the word total. Okay. And in the last column, we would write in a multiplication equation. Now, an equation just means a math sentence that has an equal sign in it. And because it's a multiplication, it's going to be one number times another number equals the answer, the product. So let's see if we can think about the cars that we just were talking about. We would say that there were 3 cars. That's the number of groups we had. The number of wheels in each car was 4. So we're going to put that in that column, the E column. And the number in all of the groups was 12. We had 12 wheels total. So we would write a multiplication equation for this that says 3 times 4 equals 12. 12 total wheels. This is how the get chart works. So we wanted to think in class how these 2 charts were similar and different. In class, we talked about how in the first chart that we learned with the 3 sentences, that there were a lot of words. The get chart didn't have a lot of words. It did, however, have the same numbers that were involved in our sentences, 3, 4, and 12. We also noticed in the get chart that we wrote a multiplication equation. We never wrote a multiplication equation in our sentences. So we saw some similarities and some differences between these 2 charts, but both were valuable in making sense of our word problem, real world word problem. So now I want you to think about how you could fill in the get chart for each of these picture problems. I have some cars here, and I have some stars with points. How would you fill in the get chart for the number of wheels on the cars? And how would you fill in the get chart for the number of points on the stars? Go ahead and pause your video, and you can stop and think about it. Finally, in this lesson, we practiced independently with some picture problems in our student math workbook. Hopefully, this lesson helped you revisit how to solve problems using the get chart or using our 3 sentences. And I hope you also remember how to write a multiplication equation using the numbers from the get chart. Have fun practicing. Bye-bye.